this feeling which is rolling round in my brain. What can I do to make it all go away? I believe they call this thing fear and anxiety. With me night and day, can't make it go away. Sleepless nights and worry all around. Help me get my feelings back to solid ground. Indigestion, I can't concentrate. When will I ever begin to feel okay? Good morning. This is Village Vic, and you've reached a podcast called Rollin' Around in My Brain, and this is Chapter 8, which will be about health anxiety. Now, in the past few years, nearly every person on the planet has experienced some health anxiety with the COVID epidemic. When the vaccines were first introduced and the locations of where you could obtain them were announced, I remember going online and scouring available locations. We were willing to drive up to 3 hours to get a shot. My son-in-law, who's a physician, told us they were taking 80 dead bodies out of his hospital every day. He said he never saw anything like it. That, of course, increased our anxiety because it was presented as the Black Plague that could wipe out entire communities. Well, it was serious, especially among the elderly and immunocompromised, but certainly was not the Black Plague of the Middle Ages. Now, it's obvious. Obviously, it's normal to feel some anxiety about your health. Nearly everyone feels an ache or a pain and wonders what it is. But people seem to fall into one of two extremes. They're either overly concerned immediately or seem to brush it off as no problem, it'll go away. The question is, what is normal curiosity and what is excessive? The other question is it really a malady or not? Let's look at some signs to see if your actions are excessive. Health anxiety can be caused by illnesses that are real or imagined. We're going to first talk about the individual who believes they have an illness when one doesn't really exist. This is generally called hypochondriacism. But before we talk about the serious stuff, let me start with a little levity. A hypochondriac goes into his doctor's office and says, I feel so sick all over. My head aches, my bones ache. I can't eat, I can't sleep, can't do my normal activities. Tell me what's wrong. Well, the doctor said, I've given you all the tests. We've done EKGs, ECGs, ultrasounds, x-rays, MRIs, PETs, every imaginable blood test. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with you. But Doctor, there's got to be something you can do. Doctor's totally frustrated since this has been going on for months, and he finally says, well, there is one more test I could give you, but you're going to have to be under sedation. Okay, doctor, I'll do anything. The doctor administers the anesthetic, and just before the patient's completely under, he asks the doctor, oh, doctor, by the way, what is this test? Oh, it's an autopsy. Well, I don't think that's the ultimate way of dealing with a hypochondriac, but it is extremely frustrating to be around one any length of time, because hypochondriacs imagine illnesses. This is just the opposite of the individual who will ignore illnesses and never go to a doctor until sometimes it's too late. In fact, I had a business partner who was exactly like that, and he died prematurely from prostate cancer. which, of course, is a very treatable cancer. That should never have happened. That's the two extremes, and I've met them both. So the question is, how do you react when you have an illness? Some immediately think the worst. Oh, it's cancer. My uncle had it. Oh, it could be an aneurysm. I think my appendix is about to burst. I've been constipated for 3 days. I think it's a cancerous growth. Some go right to the internet and begin searching for possible maladies. Even I've done that. The question is, what is normal curiosity and what is excessive? The other question is it really a malady or not? Some will immediately make a doctor's appointment no matter how small the symptom is. Let's look at some signs to see if your actions are excessive. Are you frequently checking your body for lumps, tingling, or pain? Are you constantly worrying about your health? Are you constantly seeking reassurance from people that you are not sick? Always looking to get supplements to make you stronger, smarter, avoid any kind of disease? Do you frequently second guess doctors? Do you worry that doctors' tests miss something? Do you avoid physical activity because of the fear that you can't handle it? Are you constantly looking for medical information on the internet? Well, if you answer yes to a good number of these, you could have an obsessive compulsive behavior and may need to seek a therapist that can help you deal with resolving this anxiety. If you feel these responses are similar to yours, though, before you do that, you might want to try something easier by yourself that could help you put things in perspective and not jump to conclusions. For instance, you can keep a diary. A diary? Come on. What's that going to do? Well, listen on. If you could create a spreadsheet and set up 3 columns. The first is the symptom. The second, a possible non-serious explanation of what's causing it. And the third is, what are you going to do when you feel the symptom coming on? For instance, column 1, I have a headache. Column 2, headaches can be caused by exhaustion, dehydration, and anxiety. Column 3, I'm going to lie down. If you constantly have the urge to check your body for rashes and skin irritations, that would be column 1. The explanation could be caused by new soaps or lotions that you're allergic to. What's the action you're going to take? You're going to check everything that you're putting on your body to make sure that it's the same as it was before. In other words, there's nothing new that you're putting on. Let's look at another one. You feel dizzy. It's column 1. Column 2. Well, dizziness can be caused by dehydration. Column 3. Drink something and lie down and rest. If you're a germaphobe, rather than washing your hands every 15 minutes, as soon as you get that compulsion, take a walk, read a book, do some other activity that you like to do. Another example, indigestion. Could be the food you ate. Column 3, avoid those foods and get tested for allergy. Most people are allergic to something, and it could be just that. For example, I found out I was allergic to potatoes. Yes, potatoes. Who would ever think? My wife found out she was allergic to gluten, oats, pineapple. Well, gluten is a big thing now, but pineapple and oats, normally people don't think of that as being allergy. Well, in any case, I've tried avoiding potatoes, and son of a gun if my digestion hasn't improved immensely. So if you do this type of thing, you can kind of analyze what's going on, because there are some things that are not extraordinary diseases that are like life-threatening. Like seniors, for instance. Seniors, the vast majority of seniors don't digest dairy very well, which causes excessive gas. Just by the seniors avoiding the dairy, their life will be a lot better. So anyway, if you took this a spreadsheet approach, by doing this on a regular basis, you can find patterns. Just by doing this simple task can help you take a hold of your anxiety and actually help you determine what is really going on in your body. And most times, it's not something serious. Simple exercises like deep breathing techniques can help with anxiety as well. Physical exercise and the proper amount of sleep does wonders to helping relieve your stress. Of course, if the symptoms that you believe that you're having continue to increase over time, it's time to see your doctor. If the doctor says the tests are all negative, you can probably assume he's correct unless the symptoms continue, in which case you might want to seek a second opinion. Until you convince yourself it's nothing or something minor, you'll continue to have anxiety. But you have to look at your whole life situation. Are there things going on in your life that could be causing the worries about health? It may not have anything to do with diet or tumors or anything physical. It could be mental. Anxiety often is the result of unresolved conflict. If you're on the fence trying to make a decision and can't seem to do it because you're afraid of the outcome of both choices, that guaranteed is causing you anxiety. I know, I have been in this situation before, and things like changing jobs or deciding to make a financial situation, all kinds of symptoms can occur, which might seem like you're even going to have a heart attack, but in reality, it's just stress of a decision you haven't made. I think I mentioned to you in a past episode that I had severe panic attacks when I was in a job that I believed was unworkable. Until I made that decision to leave the job, panic attacks persisted. I saw my wife deal with the exact same situation. Then after we quit those jobs, the anxiety disappeared. I'm not trying to say you can figure out health issues by yourself, but on the contrary, you should be visiting your primary care physician every 6 months or at least once a year. That should definitely be on your to-do list. Worrying about health is not to be taken lightly. The point of all this is to help eliminate unnecessary anxiety, and that happens when you convince yourself that your malady is minor or not real at all. The spreadsheet approach is one way of trying to help eliminate obsessive behavior. It helps also to know whether you tend to be a serious worrier or not. If you're not sure about that, ask your best friend or your spouse. It helps to be able to share your thoughts with a trusted person who's apt to tell you the truth. Worry creates anxiety. It all comes down to the old joke. It's called Why Worry? I don't know if you ever heard it, but it goes kind of like this. There's only two things in life that matter, whether you're sick or you're well. If you're well, there's nothing to worry about. If you're sick, only two things can happen. You'll either get better or you'll die. If you get well, there's nothing to worry about. If you die, only two things can happen. You can go to heaven or you can go to hell. If you go to heaven, there's nothing to worry about. If you go to hell, it's too late to worry. So, why worry? Hope you enjoyed that. Next time, we're going to be talking about religion and anxiety. And in the meantime, have a stress-free, anxiety-free day, and we'll see you next time. I'm ready to take the path to follow. Give me some help to hang on to. I will go on. It may take many months. I'm ready for bumps, ready to jump, oh ready, oh ready, oh ready until I'm free.